Wood cleaning is an undermarketed service that can make you a lot of money quickly, and since many customers aren't even aware that this service exists, the information in this video could be worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to your business. In this video, we're going to be covering everything you need to know in order to make big money every day offering wood cleaning as a service to your customers. Everything from equipment, chemicals, how to do the job, how much to charge, and if you make it all the way to the end of the video, I'm also going to share with you how to get customers for this service. But if you're looking to start a pressure washing business and you're not sure what chemicals to use, how to mix them, how to clean every surface on a residential job site, property protection, or how to set up your equipment, check out the How to Wash course. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description. And if you need help keeping up with customers, sending estimates, invoices, or collecting payments, all for free, check out QuoteIQ on the App Store and Google Play Store, or you can try any paid tier of QuoteIQ right now for $1 at myquoteiq.com. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So what inspired this video was we recently got a call out from a real estate agent asking us to do house washes, driveway cleanings, and fence cleanings for 3 different duplexes. And they wanted to have this done because they were getting ready to stay in these fences, as well as they just want to upkeep the property. Now, the good thing is all these duplexes were right next to each other, so it made this job a lot easier to do. We were able to knock out all this work, and it only took us about 3 hours, and we made a couple grand in the process, which really got me thinking about how untapped of a market fence cleaning is, as well as how good of an upsell it is. Because at the end of the day, I can only count on a couple hands how many times we've even done fence cleaning. We've never even quoted it for a lot of our customers, and where we're located, there's a ton of fences, a ton of dirty fences, and if you're able to position yourself properly and you're able to convey the value to the customer, it's an easy add-on where you can make a lot more money, just like we did with the jobs that we did for this real estate agent. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and talk about equipment. You're obviously going to need some type of chemical applicator. For anybody out there that doesn't know that we're using chemical, that is the only way that you can create this kind of a stark contrast, big difference between the before and after, and it's how we get the wood to really turn colors. So you're going to need some type of chemical applicator. We're going to talk about chemicals next. In this case, we are using a soft wash system, but if you don't have any money, there are definitely cheaper options. Whenever I got started, I started out with just a backpack sprayer, and I was able to apply the chemical that way and rinse it off with the pressure washer. It just takes a little bit more time if you're going to do it that way, but obviously what you lack in money in the beginning, you have to make up for in time and sweat equity. So if you don't have a software system, get you a backpack sprayer, get you some type of way to apply chemical onto the fence, so that way you can let the chemical do the work. You're also going to need some type of a pressure washer. We don't use a ton of pressure when cleaning fences, because too much pressure could actually fur the wood, and we're going to talk about anything that could go wrong on these wood fence cleaning jobs, which, spoiler alert, there's not a lot, but we mostly just rinse with the pressure washer. Now, in some cases, we do apply a little bit of pressure, and with one of the chemicals that I'm going to suggest to you guys, you do have to apply a little bit more pressure, but we don't put overwhelming amounts of pressure on this wood. So you're going to need a pressure washer, just not too much pressure. So with that out of the way, we obviously need a pressure washer. We obviously need some type of a chemical applicator. Let's go ahead and get into what chemicals we're going to need in order to perform this service. All we used on this job, believe it or not, was bleach. We used it at a 3% mix. And if you guys need any help figuring out what bleach to water ratio you need for any surface, you can try out QuoteIQ's mix calculator in the resources section. Like I said, second link in the comment section and the description. At the bottom of the calculator, there's also a recommended percentages based on whatever surfaces that you're cleaning. So if you're not exactly sure which percentage to use on which surface, definitely check out QuoteIQ's mix calculator in the resources section. So the one thing that you do want to be careful with whenever you're using bleach to clean the fence is that bleach can white out the wood, giving it an unnatural look. But since they were going to be staining these, we decided to just go ahead and use bleach. Now, some people like the bleached out look. I personally don't mind it at all. To me, it looks pretty resemblant of the way the wood looked whenever it was first put up. And I'll show you guys after pictures towards the end of this video. But it came out extremely good, and I thought it looked great. So it's really up to the preference of the homeowner, and this is something you're going to have to kind of set expectations with. But if the homeowner doesn't mind the bleached out look, you can show them a before and after and say, hey, look, this is what it's going to look like if we do use bleach. And here's another chemical that we can use that'll give the wood a little bit more of a natural color. And the other option to achieve that natural color is Wood Wizard by Southeast Soft Wash. It's a sodium metasilicate based cleaner. It's going to help clean while also preserving that natural wood color, as I mentioned before. Now, there are some other wood chemicals that we go over in the How to Wash course. The wood section alone in that course is a few hours long by itself, but we're just going to keep it simple for this video because I'm not a chemist first and foremost, and between bleach and Wood Wizard, you're going to have everything you need within those 2 chemicals. All I would say is if you're thinking about offering this as a service, I would clean one fence with bleach. I'd have before and after pictures with that, and then I'd also clean another fence with Wood Wizard, and I'd have before and after pictures of that, just so you can get kind of what they're going to look like as a side by side, and you're going to be able to set those expectations, like I said, with the customer and show them what it's going to look like before you offer it to them and before you actually clean the fence. So you can see which one they're going to like better. Next, let's go ahead and jump into how to do the job. For this one, we treated these fences with a 3% mix, as I mentioned earlier, and then we just let them sit. We let them dwell for a few minutes. Then we came back and we just reapplied to any of the spots that, still look dark. They still look like they needed to be hit a little bit more. They needed a little bit more chemical to treat them. And then lastly, we came back and washed off any dark spots that remained. Like I told you guys, just at the top, there was some dark spots that didn't clean up with the second treatment of bleach. So we just put a little pressure to clean that off. Wood Wizard is a similar process. It just takes a little bit more washing, I would say. First, you apply the chemical, let it dwell, and then you wash it off. I'll show you guys some video of that so you can kind of see a little bit of the difference on the way the chemicals react. But like I said, you can't really mess up too much with regards to wood besides putting too much pressure on it, furring it, or bleaching it out, and maybe that's not what the customer was expecting. So you want to make sure that you set the precedence up front. Here's what it's going to look like, or we have another option. Now, the profit margins on wood cleaning are just like anything else. They are made in how quickly we are able to get the job done. That's why you don't want to use just pressure in order to clean fences. That would take way too long, and that's why the homeowner doesn't want to do it, because of the time investment that it's going to take. And we can make up for that time that it would take us to pressure wash it by using chemicals to do the heavy lifting, as I said before. So make sure we're using the chemicals. That's where we're going to get our profit margin. Now, pricing for this service is between $1 to $1.50 a linear foot, depending on, where you're located, the size of the job, a bunch of different metrics kind of go into that. If you're in Mississippi, you're going to have a little bit of a different pricing structure than if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, for example. But it's important to remember, for any type of service, for any type of job, make sure you have a minimum price. Ours is $250. Yours might be $150. Doesn't really matter. Just have a minimum, because some fences might be smaller than others. You might have a really tiny fence and it only measures out to be $125. And you go, well, you got to charge the $150. Having a minimum price is going to save you, because it accounts for the time of travel, setup, pickup, equipment, chemicals, all that good kind of stuff. So make sure you have some type of a minimum pricing structured out. You can also offer a discount if they want to get both sides done. So a lot of people want to get the inside and the outside, because, what's really the point of just having the inside? But of course, if their outward facing fence goes to like the neighbor's yard, then they're not going to want to get the outside done. So in the instance a customer wants to get both sides of the fence done, like on this job in particular, you could charge $1 per linear foot for one side and then 50 cents for the other side. So you would just measure the fence and then charge $1.50. And the easiest way to price this service is by using a tool like QuoteIQ to measure the linear footage of the fence, and then you can multiply that number times whatever your rate just so happens to be. But after you do your measurements, QuoteIQ does the math, and you can easily send the customer over a price that way. Now, pricing on fences is also very dependent upon what type of fence they have, because some are harder to clean. Some are not as easy as spraying with bleach, watching them change colors, and then, hitting it with another coat. Some fences may be more time consuming, so obviously you need to charge a higher rate for those. However, in this instance, we're mostly just talking about wood fences, and wood fences in general pretty much are all the same. Chemical is going to do most of the work, and then we're going to treat it twice and rinse anything else that we need to. Lastly, let's go ahead and get into how to sell the job. This service is perfect for people who want to stain their fence. It's also a great add-on service for any property that you might be at. If you're doing a house wash, driveway cleaning, roof wash, any of those types of things, just to send it over to the customer and say, hey, we can also make your fence look brand new. Unfortunately, the way that it looks is really the only advantage to getting the service done. But if you think about it, that's pretty much the case with every service that we offer, right? Like, why do people need roof cleaning? Why do people need driveway cleaning? House washes? It's pretty much all just to make the property look better. Now, being able to visually see the wood change like you guys are seeing in this video is an excellent way to market this service. So I would say if you do a wood fence cleaning, if you do your first one, just kind of test things out, I would definitely film it. And then I would take that and use that as an ad and run that out to show people what you can do with it. Now, if you guys want to see my exact video ad strategy that landed us over $13,000 in jobs in 1 month, I do a complete breakdown for absolutely free. I'll leave that link in the comment section description so you guys can check that video out. But the last thing that really helps kind of sell these is good before and after pics. So between good video, good before and after pics, and then upselling them on every single job that you get, you can't go wrong. And if you guys use the information that I share with you in this video, you're going to be able to make tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars with this information. So if you made it this far in the video, comment down below would, and I'll hashtag you a real one. But my name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. And until next time, hustle hard, get that money, baby. Peace.